Hello everyone, today I will be talking about the new show, Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or TMNT for short, or even just Tot. And of course I shall be giving an honest opinion. This will also give spoilers. Spoiler alert. Firstly, I want to point out the art style and how great it looks. I mean, if you look at the animation as well as how the characters are drawn, you can clearly see the differences from other new shows which use CGI and more of a 3D touch, whilst for Tot I feel like it's more 2D and sort of hand-drawn. This is especially visible through the special effects and explosions throughout the show too, such as the huge explosion with fireworks at the docks where the turtles fought Bishop and the mechäzoids. So the animation is a plus side. I actually wasn't expecting how detailed it would be. Rather the pleasant surprise. And ways. Secondly, the story arc, well, there's a load to look at here, but I'll try to break it down to a short summary of the aspects of the story. To begin with, it did have an interesting beginning, straight jumping to the action, but besides that you also have the sort of backstory to Bishop, which is basically how her sister inspired her, and also it tells the viewer about how Bishop got her mutants are a threat to humanity mentality. Which can show how she is more of a broken person, not someone who is genuinely evil. Since I wouldn't blame her for being angry and upset that her life's work got ruined, but then again I feel as if in this show every villain is more of a broken someone who just dealt with a lot. Another example is Superfly in Mutant Mayhem. He was just broken. Although the way he treated humans and even other mutants was questionable, I can't blame him either for being upset at his home being raided by a SWAT team. If I were him, I'd probably be upset too. Plus Goldfin was kinda broken too, losing the Pearl and his family and friends. I'd start to understand why he resorted to violence and robbery. He was desperate at first. But come on, later the violence and beating the crap out of the turtles wasn't really necessary. On the other hand, complicated character arcs are quite interesting. They make the show fun to watch because they keep you guessing about who will betray who if genuine, who is kind, who is evil. That's just a great aspect to incorporate into a show, to be honest. Alright, now, more about characters. I'll start with the turtles though. First of all, the leader. Okay, so for Leo's adventure, the main thing that shows when his battle alone starts is how he is struggling to lead alone, but he is also developing important leadership skills too, which can be seen in episodes 11 and 12 a little more. It's also seen how he is starting to realize what being a leader means. To me, it was similar to how in the 2003 TMNT show Leo started developing his character more after the fights with Shredder and the whole almost needing to resort to unaliving themselves to save people from Shredder at Cry. This turning point for Leo, being alone and leading, was just very interesting to see. And I did love the fight scenes, even though I'd prefer the Mirage ones or 2003 ones. Important as X of TMNT is developing each turtle to draw inspiration from their brothers in order to see the bigger picture and fight better as a team. The show sort of gave you a glimpse of how each turtle uses his skills and tries to build new ones with the inspiration from his brothers. Anyways, time to talk about Raph, although before I start I do want to point out how vile Bricky was. Like, I get it, hun, you want to brick up and protect the purple dragons, but honestly you don't need to bash a brick into Raph to do that, man. Okay, back to being seriously, that is, if it's possible. Alright, so we do see Raphael get taken into a warehouse, which we later learn is a chicken plucking farm, but also that the purple dragons rented it. Then we do get a sense of Raph's humor as he proceeds to make a "your mom" joke, asking if Angel is Hun's mother, which Hun thinks is a genuine question. Then Raph obeying. Raph gets frustrated, so that went well. Later it is seen that Raph and Hun start talking about being the strongest yet unable to protect the ones you love. It really shows how they can relate, and as later seen work together, they sort of start understanding each other more. It is important to add that we can see Raph starting to use his fist less and use his mouth more as he makes jokes to buy time after Kitsune virtually sold him, although minus points on the milking reference, since that joke was already used in Mutant Mayhem. Later on, the mechäzoid that was chasing Raph ends up breaking into the chicken farm, but Hun and Raph as well as Angel team up after Raph saves Hun's life by giving the mechäzoid a clean headshot with his sai. Eventually the To sum it up, Donnie is getting chased by the mechäzoid hunting him in Times Square, and eventually he goes to the police station to request help since the text he sent April did really work out that well. But the cops just want to write their book about mutants and take pictures of Donnie, which a lot of people that Donnie runs by in the subway want. They literally stop him to ask for a selfie even though he says, "I was gonna say evil robot chasing me," back to the cops. As they have Donnie handcuffed to their table talking to him more like listening to his story. Actually the mechäzoid breaks in and Donnie has to fight it off, getting it out of the station and starting the run in the subway. He also stole the cop's laptop, but he will maybe give it back, unlike Raph who stole Angel's motorbike and kinda blew it up. Won't say she didn't deserve it though. Anyways, Donnie defeats the robot for a brief second by impaling it on the ticket gate, but it's not easily down, so it continues chasing and fighting Donnie even in a train which later almost crashes, but Donnie stops it just in time after hacking to save the day. That robot later becomes inspiration for Metalhead. Okay, now for what I thought of the final battle with Bishop and the using the EMP. Well, to put it simply, I was quite interesting to watch, but it was not like a huge fight, more of just the Turtles having a small battle with Bishop, but that is understandable since the show seems to be aimed at a younger audience. To me though, the part where Pigeon Pete uses the EMP was not that cool. I get that if you're a young child it might be cool having a mutant pigeon save the day, but for an older fan it's just a little bit too Disney sounding. But if we start talking about epic battles, then I don't know what to say about the standoff between the Turtles, Splinter, and the mutant animals. Seriously, the Turtles are ninja and trained, but a small goldfish kicked their butts. I don't really understand, but hey, no complaints about how Ray Fillet bombed the boat. That was kinda unexpected, so good plot twist I guess. All in all, I would say the show's worth a watch. Also, I will be doing separate videos on each character talking about their traits and the great and terrible aspects, so stay notified. And have a good day.